how I am going about picking these games. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that we're aware that we're starting to win some of these games. Since the end of December, wagered $245 and won 32.57 that night. Makes a new balance 277. So I carry that over here, subtract the wager, that's the adjusted total, and take what we won or lost that night and update our balance, carry that over, and so forth. So with a $245 wager, now this isn't all that impressive, but we're up to 274.70. And what we're doing is we're playing the point spreads against Vegas. And as you can see, last night we won pretty well, $93.37. And why is that impressive? Well, Vegas is very, very good at what they do. But I'm also playing with a couple of handicaps. Number one, I'm playing every single game every night. That's not something a wise gambler would do. There's games you should walk away from, but no, not me. I'm going right into them. So that would you would expect that to knock that total down, and so that's one handicap that we're dealing with. The other handicap is it's completely done by the computer system that I have created, and I'm in the middle of doing tonight's game, so I wanted to get this out before the first game tips, which is Georgetown at Xavier. I'll just recap this real quick, and then I want to show you how we do the prediction. So uh, Vegas says 12 Xavier at home minus 12 and a half. We ran the prediction. We say Xavier wins by 19. So we're going to take Xavier to win and cover. So that's our point spread. This is the odds. Here's our money line, which is simply which team's going to win. And so we're saying Xavier, and these odds are always really bad. So your payoff isn't very good. When we ran the prediction, we said that our total points would be 152. Vegas says 148.5. So we take the over there. And this pattern follows throughout this whole night. And until we get down to where we go, I'm going to walk you through. So, for example, Wake Forest is at home to Louisville. Uh, we say Wake by 11. Vegas says 16 and a half. We think that's too much. So we're going to take the dog here. And 114 is our odds. So we're going to play $5 again on this and then multiply that times negative 114 to get our payoff. We still think Wake's going to win. And the line is 152 and a half. And we say 157. And so we're going to take the over. And you'll find when I do these, it almost always is going to take the over. Here we got close. Ohio State, Penn State. We think that's going to be a 1-point game, incidentally. And I'll touch on why we think that. Vegas thinks that Ohio State's going to win by 10. So we're going to take the dog here. Ohio State's still going to win. 153 and a half is the total. We say 154, so we're going to have to take the over here. So I'm going to run through a couple of these just so you get a sense of how this is working. And so what we do is we start here at this daily section. Here's the daily. Here's all the games are being played tonight. So I have it all at a glance. And we're going to start with the next game. I don't know who it is, so we're going to go find out. So I'm going to click on this. So you can't see this, but I'm going to FanDuel, and it is Miami at Syracuse. Okay, so they're in the ACC. I know Miami is going to have a better. The lower the score, the lower the rating here, the better. So here's Miami at 21.09, and here's Syracuse at 23.43. Okay, so that is Miami, Florida, at Syracuse. We're going to do a couple preliminary things here. We're going to go. This is blank because we haven't done our prediction yet, but I want to put it in this box. So, and we're going to take these two teams, and we're going to highlight them. First, we're going to go to our bet sheet, and there's a couple things I use to track how the bets are performing. This one you won't see very much of. This is my tally screen. I'm just tallying. I'm doing 14 predictions, and I'm tallying which ones are doing the best. That's my worksheet. Here are the 14 different predictions that we'll fill in these boxes here in a moment. This is, I think, the secret sauce here. These are the last 5 contests. Sort of is an indicator of who's playing hot right now, or maybe an injury is catching up with one team or another. It is Miami at Syracuse. So this is the overall power rating. This is the scores our system. This is the thing that I have created. I find it to be very effective. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a prediction. We're going to use the overall power rating, which is inherent into my scores our system. The next prediction, we're going to take that overall power rating out. We're just going to play raw numbers. And then the prediction is sort of a combination of these two. So here's what we do. Miami of Florida, go in the ACC. I'm going to grab their ratings. So 21.09. They played 17 games because they're 12-5. We'll put that in the field here. Now I'm going to do their overall season points for and points against. And so they're 1,414 points for, 1,239 against. Now, I'm going to slide in here. I'm going to do the last 5 contests. So here is, we're going to stick with Miami. And all I do is take their strength of schedule, which is this column. So this is the rating of Florida State. If I was to look at the Florida State profile, it would say 21.65. I slide all these in, and that's how I determine strength of schedule. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that's their strength of schedule. Don't get too caught up on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that and paste it onto their points for and points against for these last 5 games. So that's their numbers for these last 5 games. Now I'm going to go over here and do Syracuse. And I'm just going to do their last 5, and then we'll go back and do their overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And copy and paste and paste. And that is going to the right column and grabbing the right numbers. Okay, now back to my wizard and Syracuse. We're going to get their overall picture. So 23.43. They played 16 games. So 16. And their points for are 1185, points against 1243. It's going to spit out a number here. It's going to spit out these 3 predictions, but I've got 9 more to do. And we've already sort of filled everything in. So how we're going to organize this is I'm going to come down here and I've labeled them all. So this is the prediction. This is using OPR. This is not using OPR, and this is an average. So all we're going to do is go to the wizard, and under prediction, 80 to 70 is going to be, get it right, 80 to 70. Using OPR, 80 to 66. Not using OPR, 80 to 73. This is using a home court advantage. So in this case, the game is at Syracuse, and I'm always fishing around for the right number here. Right tonight, I'm using 6.5 points as the home court advantage. That makes that score 80 to 73. Oops, 80 to 73. This is using OPR. This is home court advantage using OPR. Home court advantage not using OPR. And that number is going to be 8180. 8180. Now we're going to look at the last 5. And these are real good indicators on how the teams have been performing lately. And, Syracuse, if we want to go take a look at Syracuse, they've been kind of hot lately. I don't know what that is. They've been kind of hot lately in that they beat Pitt at home or at Pitt. That was a good win. They beat them twice. With a loss to Duke at Duke by 20, not impressive. But then Boston College by 10 at home. They've been performing pretty well lately, and so we're going to take that. number, and the L5U, which is last 5 using OPR. And Syracuse is actually going to come out on top. So 78.81. And then last 5 not using OPR is 78.76. I have found that using OPR does make a difference. This is the one that is hitting the highest in terms of winning percentage of all 14 predictions. This is last 5 games, home court advantage using OPR. So you can see it's incorporating everything in there. So in this case, man, it's saying Miami's going to lose 78-87, and the last 5 home court advantage not using, which is also a good performs pretty well. It's an agreement, 78-82. So now we're going to take. I'm just going to show you real quick. Here's what we're talking about. Of all the 14 predictions, L5HU is performing at 55%. And that's down. It was in the 60s here recently, but if you look down this column, all the different predictions, that is by far the highest performing one. Same with the over/under. This particular one is performing better than any other ones, and it's without 5HN close, but we're still going to stick with this particular one. So how we're going to work this is we're going to go to the bet sheet, and I pre-populated it with the outcome of what we think it's going to be, and let's see if Vegas agrees. So I'm going to go to FanDuel. Miami at Syracuse. They say Syracuse by 1.5. So not something too dramatic. They agree that Syracuse at home should prevail. And so we're just going to fill in the odds. So we believe that as well. So we're going to take this. I'm not going to worry about up here because it's not going to matter. If we lose, we lose. We get no money. So I'm not going to worry about filling that out. But Syracuse, FanDuel says Syracuse minus 102. And then the money line, Syracuse minus 110. So I'm going to overstrike this minus 110. And then we say 161 on the totals. The Vegas line is 157.5. We're going to take the over here. So these are our plays for this game. We take Syracuse, we're going to lay the 1.5, and we take the over. So that's how the predictions are done. And I'm just going to run through one more completely. I don't know. I don't have any idea what's going to happen here. I don't know which 2 teams are playing. But let's. I put their overall power rating here, and then I put the predictions, and then the final scores I'll enter here later. Let's just do one more here. And so the 2 teams that are playing. This is Baylor at Texas. This is going to be a great game. So let's go into the Big 12. Let's get Baylor and Texas. So Baylor 19.2 is very low overall power rating. But they're at Texas, and Texas is a 20.90. So 19.2 versus 20.9. And this is Baylor at Texas. So Baylor is the visiting team, and Texas is the home team. And so we're going to be giving Texas a little support with the home court advantage. Let's go knock out this prediction. Again, right now it's going to be zeros. And I'm just going to copy and paste these at all of the boxes I'm going to need to be filled out. It just takes a second. So, I'm not doing this to, there's no entertainment value here. I'm not trying to become some kind of superstar. I just want to really just document on tape how my predictions are performing. And that's simply the whole reason why I'm doing this. Okay, let's go do the prediction. So Baylor, You may notice that I've got every single final score from every single contest all year long loaded. It's something I've done for 20 years, and it's you have to do it in order to get a good rating on these things. So uh, Baylor's played 16 games. Let's get their points for and points against. No, that's not the Big East, Big 12. Okay, so 1345, and they've allowed 1100. So while we're here, I'm just going to go ahead and do the last 5 since we're already on Baylor's profile. Again, go right back into the Big 12. And let's do their last 5. And then now let's go do Texas. Since we're on last 5, let's just go do Texas last 5. That's one thing about this program. That's really bad, but I know what I'm looking for here. Yep, that's correct. So those are the last 5 games. Control, copy, paste. Now, we still have to do Texas's overall profile in order to get the whole picture. So back to the wizard. We have not done this yet. So Texas and into the Big 12. 20.9, 17 games. Points for 13-14, 11-40 against. And as you can see, here's our predictions. Now they're all ready to go. So let's go into the worksheet. And I always like to keep the first one in mind, 76-70. So without any home court advantage, the computer says Baylor wins by 6. But we're only beginning. We're not even close to being done. So using OPR 67, doggone it. And then not using OPR at 73. HFAU under the wizard, Baylor 76-74. Hey, Gary. Not exactly.